What's going on, pit crew? Let me tell you something about the history of group qualifying in NASCAR. But first, I want to tell you about today's sponsor. You guys loved Exter the first time they came on board, and they've come back for more. It's time to roll the best ad I've ever made. Exter is unique from any wallet I've ever seen. My favorite part of their wallets is how easy you can access your most important cards. More importantly, your Exter wallet has the option to come with a tracker, ensuring that if you ever lose your wallet, you'll be able to track it down better than your favorite celebrity. By using the Chipolo app, you can ask the tracker in your wallet to ring, making it convenient if you misplace your wallet within your house. And you can even find your phone by pressing the button on the tracker twice. Big shout out to Exter for sending me this wallet and supporting the channel. Make sure you check them out at their website down in the description below, and make sure you're using code RawGator20 at checkout to get 20% off your entire order. If there was ever a time to buy an Exter product, the time is now. You can get up to 40% off your order until December 1st and 30% off until Christmas. If you're watching this after Christmas, you can still use my discount code RawGator20 to receive 20% off. Remember to use my link in the description below. NASCAR introduced a group qualifying format at the beginning of the 2014 season. To explain how this form of qualifying worked, I'll be showing you a video by NASCAR and Alan Cavanna that includes some clear graphics.
Single car qualifying is no more. Competitors will now qualify in groups. Here's how it'll work. At tracks 1¼ miles and longer, qualifying will consist of 3 rounds. In round 1, drivers will have 25 minutes of track time. The 24 cars or trucks that post the fastest laps will advance to the next round. The drivers not in the top 24 will be sorted based on their times. The second round will be 10 minutes. Of the 24 drivers on the track, the 12 fastest move on to the next round. The drivers who do not move on will earn starting positions 13th through 24th based on their times in that second round. The third and final round will last 5 minutes. The driver who records the fastest lap in that session will earn the Coors Light or Keystone Light pole, with the remaining drivers lining up in positions 2 through 12 based on their times. At tracks shorter than 1¼ miles, there will only be 2 rounds of qualifying. The first round will last 30 minutes. The top 12 drivers in that round move on to round 2. The remaining drivers will be sorted based on speed. In the second and final round, the drivers will have 10 minutes to set their fastest lap. The driver with the fastest speed in that round earns the pole, and the remaining drivers will line up in positions 2 through 12. 2 other important notes about qualifying. Teams are allowed to adjust their cars, but only on pit road and only during the breaks between rounds. The provisional point system remains, and those provisional starting spots will be assigned at the end of the first round. Now, all of these qualifying rules are in effect for every regular season race in NASCAR's top 3 series, with 2 exceptions: the Daytona 500 in the Sprint Cup Series, and the dirt race at Eldora in the Camping World Truck Series.
This qualifying format worked relatively well for the 2014 season, but after a crash in qualifying for the 2015 Daytona 500 pole, drivers started to express their opinions on the qualifying system.
So we're running, it's not going to be many more laps.
Denny Hamlin goes to the top of the chart with Austin Dillon.
Got one sideways.
And around turn 1 in the wall. And that is Reed Sorensen.
I think it was that quarter panel and the damage he had to the rear of that car that probably caused that accident.
But you're behind the 44. What do you see and what are you thinking?
Well, first of all, I was behind the 44. He come flying around, come up on the apron, jumps in front of me, then runs over the 51, stacks us all up, and I run into him. It's idiotic to be out here doing this anyway. There's no sense in being able to trying to put on some cute show for whatever the hell this is. Then you got a guy out there in desperation doing this crap like this. I mean, it's just, there's no reason to be out here. These guys have spent 6 months working on these cars, busting on these cars, to go out there and have some guy out of desperation do that crap. But it ain't his fault. It's not. It's NASCAR's fault for putting us out here in the middle of this crap for nothing. There's absolutely, we used to come down here and worry about who's going to sit on the front row in the pole for the biggest race of the year. Now all we do is come down here and worry about how a starting park like this out of desperation is going to knock us out of the Daytona 500. We've been in meetings for 45 minutes just trying to figure out what in the hell everybody's going to do just so we can make the race. It's stupid. There's no sense in doing this.
You described
just how frustrating trying to work yourself in to go to the next round?
I wouldn't say it's frustrating. I mean, the frustrating part is just dealing with this whole system, which makes no sense whatsoever. So it's hard to stand behind NASCAR when everybody I talk to up and down pit road doesn't understand why we're doing this. So it's maybe I need to be sat down and educated a little bit, but it was not what we wanted for our Caterpillar Chevrolet, no doubt, but we also avoid the next few crashes that come in qualifying, which should never occur.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
And we're a lot of smart people here. There's drivers, there's owners, there's NASCAR, and we got to find a better system. I mean, so much hard work goes into these cars, and then you have this roulette wheel for qualifying. It doesn't seem like it's the proper system, but hey, it is what it is, and we could be here smiling, getting belted up, going back out for the second round, but just want to thank all my guys for all their hard work, and Haas Automation, Chevrolet, Monster Energy, State Water Heaters, all of our sponsors. We should just take the cars as we build them in the off season, unload, pass tech, and then go qualify one car at a time, 4-lap average. That would really give a sense of pride to putting effort towards building a car to qualify for the Daytona 500 instead of just shaking up bingo balls.
Obviously some frustration down here. Jamie?
In theory, if Carl Edwards got involved in this crash, he would likely have missed the Daytona 500.
Now, what Boyer was referring to as start and park drivers was a generalization of cars like Michael Annett and J.J. Yaley and even Carl Edwards, because these are teams that don't have enough points to be able to get into the race on a provisional. They're either going to have to race their way in or time their way in, and desperate drivers sometimes do desperate things.
Overall, qualifying in Daytona Speed Weeks was a mess. On the Xfinity Series side of things, no drivers posted a qualifying time due to failing to reach the start-finish line before the session was over. On top of that, numerous cars were destroyed in the process.
Oh, crash! And the red and black flag was out. None of them made it back, and on top of that, the big one right here in the tri-oval.
Holy cow. Remember, Landon Castle took off first. He's in it. Hard contact. There's Daniel Suarez.
NASCAR took things back into their own hands and announced that single-car qualifying would return, but for superspeedway races only. Daytona and Talladega.
This car is just really free and running fast. Look at this time.
Feels good. Let's see. Yeah, you got it. Good job, guys.
Since NASCAR tweaked superspeedway qualifying, the group qualifying format remained relatively unchanged. That is, until 2019. The beginning of the 2019 season was NASCAR's roughest patch for qualifying. Drivers figured out that at any track bigger than 1 mile long, running laps in a pack was the fastest way around. At Auto Club, every driver failed to post a lap time due to not wanting to be the first car out on the track.
Nobody's in a hurry.
Wow. Is anybody going to make it, Larry? Kyle Busch might make it.
Tell you what, they were talking about 47 and
Newman, is that the 47 of Priest? I mean, they're not going to make it, or is that the 22? They're not going to make it.
They're running over each other, leaving pits.
That's Almirola you're riding with. And we're going to listen in on NASCAR as they come around because somebody may not make it to the flag.
I'll tell you what, we're down 14-13. We're coming here to, it's going to be close, guys.
Sorry, that was the 10 of Almirola back there that is going to be very close to making it. I don't think he's going to make it.
4, 3, 2, 1. Time is
Nobody made it. Nobody made it across the line.
Oh,
which I think is going to work great for Austin Dillon.
Yes.
They go back to round number 2.
A different problem occurred at Texas later in the season where NASCAR reworked the qualifying rules, mainly emphasizing that you cannot block the pit road. Clint Boyer had an interesting experience with Ryan Newman clogging pit road.
Little drama on pit road. That's former Busch Series champion, now NASCAR official David Green, and Mike Bugaravage jawing at it. Clint Boyer is going to join them because they feel they were impeded on pit road by Ryan Newman and feel that Newman's 8th place time should be excluded and they should advance to round 2. Here's what happened.
Well, Mike, I mean, you can't clog up the middle. I mean, Boyer is the one that's talked about clogging up the middle.
Now, see, here's something similar. The 22 moves from the inside lane. He rolls down, but then goes back into the outside lane. Now, the difference is he's not impeding or he's not using up as much of the space, but still, I don't know if you should be allowed to do that.
Well, there
Don't
is
think
a
there's a
portion
rule.
of the rule that says when you pull out from staging, you must continue on to the racetrack.
The way I read it, Mike.
But I guess he hasn't left staging. It all depends on what your definition of is, right?
Or staging or
impeding.
Well, so you just talked to NASCAR. Mike Rawgatoryt talked to him, and what did they say?
Who the hell knows? Say whatever they want to say. I mean, the lesson was supposed to be learned in California when we made ourselves look like idiots out there. Unfortunately, we're standing here again in the same situation. Then you're reading through the rule book before you come. You're literally reading the rule book to try to figure out the regulations they put in place for qualifying trim. I mean, I'm pissed off on qualifying over this. Is been doing this years and years and years. This is stupid. Did that look like clog in the middle to you? I damn near had to back up to go. That's not clogging the middle, apparently. We talked about clogging was our conversation before qualifying. Says really clearly in a lawyer's terms how you can't clog the middle. And I if the first time it clogs the middle that they don't call it discretionary. Then the next time you go out there and try to make a lap, the guy wrecks. So puts you in a situation like we had in California. Do I finish this lap? Because that's a rule. You're not supposed to finish the lap. Field's frozen, but they went ahead and let those guys have it. You know what I mean? Then you're here venting and just pissed off over no reason. It's just stupid. But anyway, I'm going to go back and pout and be pissed off. I appreciate you letting me vent on national television, Jamie. But this is the second time that we've done this, and I've been bit by it, and I'm tired of it. This is a fail, an epic failure.
Thank you.
It's not just a failure, it's an epic failure.
On May 1st of 2019, NASCAR finally announced that they would return to single car qualifying at all tracks except for road courses. Now that group qualifying in NASCAR is pretty much dead, I want you to let me know if you enjoy single car qualifying or group qualifying more. You can vote on that using the poll in the upper right hand corner of the screen. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. You know you'll want to say you've been here since under 25,000. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next race. Don't forget to check out Exter, link is in the description.